Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video there is lots to discuss. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Diallo Traore will join Manchester United this month. He's already received his Italian passport. Now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said we are close to completing a deal for Diallo Traore, and he's excited to welcome the teenager in to the club. On deadline day in the summer last year, we agreed a deal worth an initial £19 million, rising up to around £37 million with add-ons included. By the way, Atlanta want Diallo Traore on loan for the remainder of the season, but we have rejected that offer. The question is, will he immediately get into the first team, or will he go into our reserves and then work his way up to the first team? So I'm really looking forward to seeing him come in. Now, I want to delve into some news on Erling Haaland. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Erling Haaland instead of Jadon Sancho. That's according to the Mirror. Now, I said it was a shame that we missed out on Erling Haaland back in January of last year, because I said he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows the player well, because don't forget Solskjaer was the one that gave Haaland his debut at Molde, and at that time he was just the age of 16. And don't forget, back in December 2019, Solskjaer and Ed Woodward met up with Erling Haaland in Norway. But in January 2020, Borussia Dortmund got him. You know, they paid just, £17 million for him. He's been a revelation since he went to Dortmund. Scored a lot of goals for them. He's got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2024. Now, I did say his move to Man United could be complicated because Mini Oriolas has a poor relationship with Man United, and that's obviously Erling Haaland's agent. We are unlikely to sign him anyway this summer, because I don't see Dortmund letting him go this summer. But I think he's expected to leave next year. That's when his release clause does become active. I think that release clause is around £68 million. And Jadon Sancho, don't forget, he was our number one priority target last summer. But Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million, and we was not willing to meet that valuation. But he said a few times during the summer that the personal terms had been agreed, and the agent fees had been agreed, and even a contract had been agreed for Sancho, but we couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee, and that was the stumbling block. Dortmund made it clear to us during the summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline. But Fabrizio Romano recently said that Sancho will leave Dortmund this summer. He mentions that Liverpool are interested and he prefers a move to Liverpool. Chelsea have recently reignited their interest. There's a good chance Sancho could leave this year. Don't forget he made an admission earlier on this season saying that, it's been hard for him. And Sancho hasn't been as consistent this season as he has been in recent years. This is his 4th season with Borussia Dortmund. I think he's got a contract with Dortmund, is it till 2022 or 2023? Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City. He enjoyed a couple of years at Man City, but the main explanation he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. Before he was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. But I think analysing the vast majority of Sancho's career at Dortmund, he has been very, very consistent. Don't forget earlier on this season, Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre after their 5-1 defeat to Stuttgart. To be honest with you though, Dortmund haven't been that good this season. But he recently said we actually believe that we can get Sancho for less than £100 million this year. So who would you prefer, Halland or Sancho? But now Halland is the priority and we're no longer in now for Sancho. Now, I just want to delve into some news on Mauricio Pochettino. So, according to The Athletic, Mauricio Pochettino came close to becoming Manchester United manager some time ago. Because don't forget, he was the favourite to take over at the football club. He was the favourite to take over after Jose Mourinho got sacked. And obviously he was the favourite when obviously Solskjaer was under pressure at the football club. Pochettino is obviously been appointed in as PSG's new manager. Don't forget, PSG sacked Thomas Tuchel on Christmas Eve. That was actually a surprise. Pochettino will be just delighted that he's back in a job because he was managerless for over a year. PSG is the 4th club now in his managerial career. Don't forget, Pochettino did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. But he did guide Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final back in 2019. Got them to 2 FA Cup semi-finals and got them to the League Cup final. Before he was at Tottenham, he was at Southampton. He guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League era. And before he was at Southampton, he was at Espanyol. Mauricio Pochettino, like I said, he's a good manager, but he hasn't won anything in terms of silverware. So that's the breaking news on him. But he had this January transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window at the football club. And Solskjaer, I think, is going to get backed by the board this year. Because during the summer transfer window, he wasn't backed enough by the board. And Ole showed his frustration quite a few times towards the board during the summer. But the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left. And that's one of the main reasons why the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. But Woodward's come out quite a few times to show his support for Ole. And don't forget, Woodward did say that he's confident of success under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer budget in this January transfer window? I'm actually not sure. But like I said to you, we have got a lot of players on our agenda. I obviously give you the news on Jack Grealish yesterday. It said on Friday night, Solskjaer and Jack Grealish spoke. So reflecting on that, some of our fans are speculating that Jack Grealish could make a move to Manchester United. He told his friends during the summer, Grealish, that he was on his way to Old Trafford. I'm very sceptical we'll get him in this January transfer window. If we are going to get him, it probably will be in the summer. But Villa's valuation now is £100 million. Villa said during the summer that they wanted £80 million, and that valuation put us off. Plus, we had a concern about where he would fit in the team. Up until this point, Grealish has spent the entirety of his career with Villa. He's been a Villa player since the age of 6, and I think he's been in their senior squad since 2014, and since then has become an integral part of their team. Now, in September last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Villa, and don't forget he got banned from driving. Most of the time now, Grealish plays on that left-hand side. It says City have been interested in him. It said towards the end of last year that Liverpool could go in for him in this January transfer window because reportedly Mo Salah is unhappy with Liverpool. You know the news on Moises Caicedo, don't you? I haven't read up about Moises Caicedo for quite a bit. Max Aarons, he's recently been on our agenda, and Fabrizio Romano recently provided us with an update on him. But I am hopeful that Man United can make at least one signing in this January transfer window. Solskjaer did say a couple of times though towards the end of last year that he doesn't expect us to be busy in this January transfer window, and don't forget Woodward said we will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. We're going to sell, I think, 4 players in this January transfer window. And that's Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo and Sergio Romero. And obviously more players will depart the football club this summer. Like I said to you, I think Paul Pogba could leave in the summer. But like I said, it's not guaranteed he'll leave in the summer. There's still a possibility chance he could stay at Man United because he's been very, very good since he came back from that ankle injury. Could Matic be sold in the summer? We won't sell him in this January transfer window. Could Mata go in the summer? We know that there's obviously been rumours of Daniel James going out on loan. There's been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan because Brandon Williams is now our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. Don't forget Timothy Fosu-Mensah recently rejected a 3.5-year contract from Man United. He seldom plays anyway. Marcelo and Hertha have been in for him and they're willing to pay a small fee for Timothy Fosu-Mensah. But yeah, there's definitely still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of. Now, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Bruno Fernandes deserve credit for Manchester United's improvement. Bruno Fernandes is the best player we've got and is the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Because he has made the difference in the team. Bruno Fernandes has been at Manchester United now for almost a year. He won Player of the Month for December. He's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good run of performances. Bruno Fernandes scored a lot of goals for Man United. Okay, a lot of them have come from the penalty spot and he's provided assists and he's really good at creating chances Fernandes did say though, didn't he, that he came to Manchester to win trophies and he was disappointed that we didn't win a trophy last season. He predominantly plays in that number 10. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he has really, turned things around. He's got us to the AFL Cup semi-final this season. He's got us joint top of the Premier League. You wouldn't have thought at the beginning of 2021 we'd be joint top of the Premier League. With how poor we started last year, with how poor we was at the start of this season. Obviously, he did well in his first full season last season because he got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and got us 3rd. And that's the second highest we've finished since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. His decision-making in some games has been very good as well. Obviously, in other games, though, his decision-making has been poor. He has made good signings since he got appointed in as Manchester United manager. He spent over £200 million at the club. Now, in the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. And in the summer transfer window of last year, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Diallo Traore. So it's good that he's brought more young players in. I like the way he has promoted the youth. Ole. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. And we are certainly in this title race. Now, Solskjaer came out after the 1-0 win against Wolves and he said that, Man United are not in the title race yet. But he says if we are still challenging at the top come March, then he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. I don't think we'll win the Premier League this season. Obviously, I hope we do, but I just don't think we will. But I think we're certainly going to win another title. It could be next season or the season after. But if we do win the Premier League, it will be our first Premier League title since 2013. And it will be our 21st title overall. Now you can say at this present time, Solskjaer is exceeding his expectations. He will certainly still be Man United manager at the end of this season. Probably will be given another season. If he is given another season, that will be his 3rd full season at the football club. This is his 2nd full season at the moment. And I did say, didn't I, this season was always going to be a big season for him. Obviously, it's been up and down under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, hasn't it? We've enjoyed good periods. We've enjoyed bad periods, but we're enjoying a good period at the moment because we are unbeaten in our last 10 league games. Don't forget we went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season and we was 14 unbeaten in the Premier League. Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for just over 2 years. Last month, on the 18th, I think it was of December, it was his 2-year anniversary at Man United. He has got a contract with the football club until 2022. Now, these 4 trophies we can pursue this season. We can obviously win the Premier League, we can win the EFL Cup, we can win the Europa League, and we can also win the FA Cup. It is the FA Cup next week. Isn't it? We've also been very, very good away from home. We haven't lost away from home yet in the Premier League this season. I said it was a shame we didn't beat Leicester on Boxing Day because that would have been 11 away wins in a row for Man United. We've won 4 games at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Obviously beat West Brom 1-0. You can say was fortunate to win that. We beat Leeds 6-2. Best game we've enjoyed this season. We beat Wolves 1-0. You know, the goal was very fortuitous. And we beat Aston Villa 2-1. It's good now that we're getting more home wins on the board, because we was enjoying our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. You know what I mean? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and to say he hasn't, he's doing a pretty good job now, isn't he? Because before he came to Man United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde. But they're not a big club, and before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. But let's put into the equation, you know, Solskjaer knows the club inside out, because, you know, he enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United, flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance, probably is in regular contact with Ferguson. And his most iconic moment as a player was 1999, when he scored that late goal in the Champions League final and won the club the treble, and that's the club's greatest achievement. One of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's best games as Man United manager was that 3-1 win against PSG back in, March 2019 was it? And that was his last game as interim manager. We did appoint him in December 2018, Ole, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. I think he won 14 games out of 19 in total when he was interim manager, so that's what got him the job. Yeah, we did give him the job a bit too early, didn't we? But I have been saying to you, like, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't the right manager. I've criticised Solskjaer a lot, you know, earlier on this season. I criticised him a lot last season. But honestly, I'm slowly starting to change my perception on him, and there's a lot of Man United fans that are now Ole in. But you can say that Solskjaer was lucky not to be sacked after us getting knocked out of the Champions League. He was lucky not to be sacked after our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. You know, he probably would have been sacked if we'd have lost that game to Everton earlier on in the season. You know, he was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. You know. But in the last 7.5, 8 years, we have been playing catch-up, don't forget. You know, 3 managers have been sacked since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes. He got sacked after, 10 months. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. We sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. And we've brought a good 30-odd players in since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And a lot of the players we have brought in since Ferguson left haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. So that's a mistake we've made there. But we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7.5, 8 years. And that's one of the main reasons why we haven't been so good. But we haven't been the same team since Ferguson left, because like I've already said to you, no manager at Man United or no manager in general will last as long as Ferguson did, or no one will replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy. Ferguson enjoyed 27 years at the club, won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away, because like I said, didn't win out in his first 4 years, so it does take some managers time to settle in, doesn't it? But we are now competitive under Ole. But since Ferguson left, haven't been the same team, like I said. And before he came into the equation, weren't that good, because we weren't that good under Ron Atkinson, weren't good under Wolf McGuinness, weren't good under Frank O'Farrell. We got relegated under Frank O'Farrell back in 1974. We have spent a lot of money since Fergie left. I think we've spent over £1 billion on players. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to the City game on the 6th of January, which is Wednesday. It's in the EFL Cup semi-final. We beat Everton in the quarter-final to progress to the semi-final. We're beating them 2-0. City are looking to win their 4th EFL Cup in a row because they have won it for the last 3 seasons. Don't forget we played Man City in the EFL Cup semi-final last season. We obviously went out 3-2 on aggregate. We lost the first match 3-1 at Old Trafford, but we're beating them at the Etihad 1-0. We did beat City 3 times though out of the 4 times we played them last season. City haven't been as consistent this season as I expected though. You know, City have got some good players in their team. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus, he's one of their key players. Sergio Aguero, he's one of their key players. Raheem Sterling, he's one of their key players. Got him from Liverpool a few years ago. Bernardo Silva, one of their key players. Riyad Mahrez, one of their key players. Ferran Torres as well. They got him last summer. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, one of their key players. He's regarded as one of the best midfielders in the league. They've got, obviously, Ilkay Gundogan. They've got that Rodri. I don't rate Rodri a lot, to be honest with you, though. They've got Garcia. Cancelo. Benjamin Mendy. They've got him, but he's injury prone. He's Benjamin Mendy. They've got Laporte. He's a very good centre-half, is Laporte. They've got Nathan Ake, who was one of their centre-halves. They got him from Bournemouth during the summer, which was last year. They've also got Ruben Diaz. They've got Kyle Walker, who they got from Spurs a few years ago. I think they paid, was it like £50 million for him. Obviously, Edison is their goalkeeper. And I think Fernando is still at Man City. Last summer, they let David Silva go to Real Sociedad. A few years ago now, they let Vincent Kompany go. He became playing manager at Anderlecht, and they also let Otamendi go. You know, City have got one of the best managers in the world in Pep Guardiola. You know, Pep Guardiola has been at City now for over 4 years because City appointed him in 2016. He's won quite a few trophies at City. You know, don't forget a few years ago, City won the domestic treble. And that was the season where they finished on 100 points. Pep Guardiola's priority at City is winning the Champions League because City have actually never won the Champions League. He did sign a 2-year contract earlier on this season. Guardiola was at Barcelona, I think, before City, and before that he was at Bayern Munich. City did have Manuel Pellegrini before Guardiola, was it? They won the title under him, and they had Roberto Mancini at one point, and they won the title under him. When they won the title under him, it was their first Premier League title in, 44 years, something like that. So, yeah. But I'm really looking forward to the game. You know, it is at Old Trafford. I don't even really understand why it's not at Wembley. I think there's quite a few City players that are out with COVID anyway. There was talks about that the game may not go ahead. But anyway, after City, it is Watford in the FA Cup. We should be winning that. Then it is Burnley. We are playing Burnley, I think, on the 12th of January. So that's coming before Liverpool. We was supposed to play Burnley at the start of this season, but obviously it got postponed. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.